Yo, what's up, dudes? Welcome to my Windows 10 Rise. Um, I have this SSD. It's got Windows 10 on it. I use it, I don't know, maybe like once a week. I pop on here, play a little Rust maybe write a little something in FL Studio. I really don't use it. And there's a few reasons why, and I'll get into it, but let's like talk about the components of what I'm using for the Rice, how I'm navigating my machine, and how is my life as a predominantly keyboard user. Um, how do I live it on Windows 10? Like, is it good? I'll tell you the long and the short. It's not good. um, Keybinds and things are a pain in the butt. You know, certain things. Um, Typically, how I have some of my keybinds managed, like two of them. Let's see if we go here to Power Toys and go into Settings. Oop, bring it over to the right screen. We go over here to Settings, and I got where is it? Keyboard Manager, and then this remap a shortcut thing. All I really did was make it so I could kill Windows with Super Q and open up Qt Browser. Thankfully, Qt Browser is on Windows, which I didn't know that. And yeah, you guys are missing out on the animation thing because it's popping up on the wrong screen and I'm shifting it over, but the animations are pretty okay. Um, oh, it just all bounced over to the other screen. You know, the one thing about this is it's like a little glitchy somehow, some way, just a little glitchy. It wants to use my one screen as like the main screen, but I don't know. It's not working, dude. What are we doing here? Oh, look at that. Just crash Qt browser. This is what I'm saying. This is freaking. Oh my god, it's so glitchy. Anyway, so originally I was using. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry. Originally I was using Fancy WM, but Fancy WM was somehow glitchier than Glaze WM. Glaze WM, the default keybinds seem to be a lot smarter. Um, and all of this you can get through the Microsoft store. You don't got to go anywhere weird. You don't got to open up PowerShell. You don't got to do none of that sort of stuff. So, yeah. So, keybinds, they're handled by Power Toys. I'm also handling my app runner or app launcher with Power Toys. So, ooh, I'm going to open up Rust or something. You know what I mean? That's great. Uh, oh, yeah. Qt browser is great. These are things that like I expect out of being able to use a computer for a little bit of a thingy. So the taskbar, this is all handled with what used to be called Taskbar X, which is now called Translucent TB. This is a $2 app on Microsoft Store. It used to do a lot more things than what it does now. But it does enough to where it's like what I want to use to do the things I want to use. It used to hide this. I go to literally before I go to make this video, I get, oh, I got an update for you, bud. I go to update, lose all my keybinds, right? The ones that I set, I had to reset them. And then this thing, the button, the Windows menu button is came back. I had this hidden. It's this logo is extremely triggering to me. And I want to get rid of it, but I don't know how to get rid of it now because it updated and it's Windows, dude. I honestly for people who are like Windows power users, like what the fuck is wrong with you? Like seriously. Um Getting all of this stuff configured is like simple for somebody like me, right? But let's say you were just a rando and you're like, "Man, I want to just have the cool desktop." It's like I don't know. It's not like friendly to that. You know what I mean? So like, yeah. I don't know. Like I guess this is not super hard, but I'll tell you this. When I installed glazewm, it came with this thing called Zbar. and I configured Zbar. I got it pretty close to the way I wanted it, but there's a couple things that were bugging me about it for, I don't know, like an hour or two looking at it, and I was just like, nah. So I got rid of it. And in here, because the way that I installed glazewm is they had a winget command on their web page, and so I do that, and I get Zbar with that. I'm like, I don't want this. I take it out, and then I come in here because I was getting an error on startup that, oh, you don't have this application. So they had the command thing in here, and I didn't fully take it out right. Like there's a couple single quotes here, and I had just a space in between, and I figured, oh, that'll be all set, because something like that on Linux, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be a big deal. Um, yeah, so I save this, I go to reload it, and then the thing's broken, and for a second I couldn't figure out how to do it, and then I realized there was just two single quotes. I just got to leave these brackets like that, you know? Um, yeah, and then I had to adjust this because when I stopped using the Z bar, it's a different size than this bar. I just had this bar on the bottom with auto hide, right? And I hate two bars. I'm I'm a no bar guy, but past month and a half, I've been warming up to using a bar, a singular bar. Um, yeah, it was just too much. So I had to get rid of it. And so you want to adjust this here, and then I didn't really mess around with this too much because for the most part, it looked like it's set up kind of like the way that I like it, like with these keybinds and stuff. So I left them alone. Um, yeah, but yeah, this wouldn't be simple for somebody who is like a normal Windows user. I'm trying to think in the mindset of like you're a Windows person and then you see some cool guy talking about, "Oh, look at my cool desktop custom configuration on YouTube or something," right? And then you just jump into this because that's what Windows people do, right? This you probably won't even know this file exists. You know what I mean? You'll come up here, you'll be like, "Oh, what's this?" And then you'll be like, "Show config folder," and you'll open one of these up, and you'll just be completely confused. Like, I don't know. Funny though, like to think about. Uh, Windows, right? So like, this is my problem with Windows. It takes forever to start my machine. My machine takes forever to start. And since they have this whole like planned obsolescence of Windows 10 going on right now, Microsoft has so graciously fucked up like five or six of the past updates, and my machine has gotten shittier and shittier over the course of time. When I start up my machine, it takes like fucking 5 minutes for it to like get rolling all the way. If I try to start up my machine and do like my normal thing I would do on here, which would be open a web browser and open up Rust, which yes, these are relatively heavy things going on, but like I got a 32 gigs of RAM, it's a 3.4 gigahertz processor, which is like I guess a little slow for nowadays, but like it's not terrible. And I don't know, it just when I'm running Arch, I have none of these issues. The thing starts up beautifully. It's so smooth, so amazing, no glitchy boy, none of that, right? Um, it's just it's really sad. And then the other things of this whole thing with like me opening and closing stuff and then my whole entire desktop restarting and X, Y, and Z. And I know it's not from glazewm because it was doing the same thing with Fancy. It was doing the same thing when I wasn't using anything. It's just it's really bad now. I I am so gracious for the existence of Linux at this point because I cannot use this as my daily go-to machine. I just can't. I can't. It's too terrible. All right, what else? Did I add anything else? No, it's really Taskbar, Power Toys, and glazewm. This translucent Taskbar thing. Sorry, I didn't say it right. I have like this kind of stuff hidden because I just don't like looking at it. Problem with Windows, they're trying to advertise to you. All their little icons, they're bigger than anything else. You know what I mean? They just stick out. They're trying to make it so you're desensitized to advertising. So when you use Windows 11, they can sneak ads in, and you're like, oh, it's just my normal life. Just my normal life. Ads fucking everywhere, just being injected into my brain, like I'm Arnold Schwarzenegger on the fucking subway in Total Recall. You know what I mean? Just fucking spam my brain with ads, please. Anyways, that's gonna be the end of this. I highly don't recommend doing this. I highly don't recommend using Windows. Just get off of it. All this stuff isn't worth it. I don't even know why I'm using this anymore. It's basically one game called Rust is the only reason why I use Windows. I can use FL Studio on Linux and it works fucking beautifully, right? There's no reason for me to be over here and using this. I hate it. Those people over at Face Punch, they need to get off their fucking take the thumb out of their ass and get off their hands and fix this shit. Enable, I looked up how to do it. It's like 5 minutes of fucking around with configuration, and then everybody can play fucking Rust on Linux again. We need this to happen. So I don't have to use this anymore. In the long run, I just need to bring myself to quit playing Rust. That's just what needs to happen because there's no other reason for me to be over here. Anyways, if you like the video, please like, comment, share, subscribe. Please do all the things. Leave me a little comment. Tell me about your Windows experience. How has Windows 10 or Windows 11 been treating you lately? I'm sure it's not too great. I'm pretty sure that some Copilot stuff's going on. I don't want Copilot on my machine. There's no fucking use to it.